Okay, so today's class is called Freedom to Move. So we're going to free up some areas that tend to get stuck and sticky in the hips and the shoulders, also in the ribs and the sides of the body. And then we'll move, right? We're gonna move that around and see if we feel see if that feels a little more easy, more graceful to move after we've freed some of that up. So we'll start on our backs. Grab a block if you have it, and we're gonna put the block underneath the sacrum. You can have it on the medium level, you can have it on the low level. Do what feels good for you. I'm gonna do the low level actually. And you want the sacrum, that flat, like fused part of your spine on the block to help you find a neutral pelvis. So you might need to tuck the tailbone a little bit and then slide your feet towards each other so they're closer than we usually have them. Lift the right knee over your hip and then interlace your fingers around the shin. Just kind of rest them there. So you're not like actively pulling, but you're there's a little bit of weight on them. And then using the hip flexors of your right leg, pull the knee towards you. And the hands are resting there to help facilitate that. Notice how this opens the front of the left hip. And you're also not, I should have said this before, you're not just like laying on the block. The block is just there to remind you where to put your pelvis. You're using the glutes a lot. So really pressing down through that left foot, charging up the left glute. Good. And then extend the right leg. Start to internally and externally rotate the hip there. So notice how the pelvis really can't move here. We're isolating the hip, turning it in and out like a key in a keyhole. Left hand comes up like you're carrying a tray, and then pull back on the left fingers, stretching the wrists. Big breath in, push the heel of your palm away from you. And then you can stop moving the right leg, bring the right foot back down, lower your arms. Left knee comes up over the hip, press down through the right foot, interlace your fingers around the left shin, and just rest them there. Use the left hip flexors to pull the knee towards you. And press down more through the right foot. Notice how that opens up the front of the right hip. Good. Extend the left leg. Start to internally and externally rotate the left thigh in the hip joint, keeping that neutral pelvis. Right hand reaches up like you're carrying a tray. Pull back on the fingers, right where they meet the palm. Big breath in. Exhale it out. Good. Bring the arms down. You can stop rotating the leg, put the left foot down, and then lift off of the block, slide it out, put it to the side, and slowly lower your hips to the floor. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Getting ready for abdominals. Draw the elbows in. Big inhale. Exhale, lift up off the shoulder blades without yanking on the head. So the head is resting in the hands. The core is doing the work here. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up. Drawing the two sides of the abdominals towards each other. So like the left side and the right side, zip them up. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift. Left knee lifts over the hip, and then twist an inch to the left from the ribs. Sacrum is pressing into the floor. Stay off that left shoulder blade. Back to center. Left foot down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up. Right knee lifts over the hip. Twist to the right. Keep the elbows drawing in. Back to center. Right foot down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up. Adding on, left hip, left knee lifts, twist to the left. You can either lift off of the right heel or extend the whole right leg from the knee. Obviously, more challenging to do the latter. Right foot down, left foot down, back to center. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up. Right knee lifts, twist to the right, lift the left heel or extend the whole left leg. If you extend the leg and your belly like pops up or you lose some of that engagement, just stick with the heel coming off the floor. Back to center, left foot down, right foot down. Inhale and lower. Two more. Exhale, lift up. Left knee lifts, twist to the left, lift the heel or extend the right leg, and then slice the right arm across. Feel the sacrum weighting down into the floor. Back to center, right foot down, left foot down. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up. Right knee lifts. Twist to the right. Left leg extends. Slice the left arm across. Ooh, yeah, stay up the right shoulder blade. Back to center, hand behind the head, left foot down, right foot down. Inhale and release. Bring the feet wide on the mat, and then knees will go to the left. Right arm reaches overhead. Slide your left hand up the right forearm until you get to the wrist, and then pull the hand away from you. So you're kind of gapping the wrist here. Dig down into the right foot to really feel this opening. Huge line of fascia that goes from your pelvis, really can go all the way down to your ankle on the sides of the body. Opening some of that up here. Come back to center, knees to the right. Reach the left arm overhead, and then same thing, right hand will slide up the forearm like you're squeezing a toothpaste tube till you get to the hand, and then pull the hand away from you. Dig down into that left foot, press it into the floor. Good. Knees back to center. One more short set of abdominals. Knees, so you can keep your feet on the floor for this, or knees will be over the hips, feet up. Interlace your fingers, draw the elbows in. Big inhale. Exhale, lift up off the shoulders. Good. And then just extend the left leg. Knees are in line, they're over the hip. Good. Well, they're over the hip if you have your feet off the floor. Bend the left knee, inhale and lower. Exhale, lift back up. Right leg extends. Good. Feel the sacrum weighting down into the floor. Rebend the right knee, inhale and lower. Exhale, lifts back up. Left leg extends, and then move the left leg out to the left. Little abduction here. Not too much, but really resist the feeling of wanting to move with the leg. And then bring it back to center, rebend the knee, inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up, right leg reaches, and then move it to the right. Resist wanting to move with that leg. Bring it back to center, rebend the knee, inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up, left leg extends, move it out to the left, and then twist to the right. Oh, yeah. Back to center, move the left foot back, rebend the knee, inhale and lower. Last one, exhale, lift, right leg extends, move it out to the right, and then twist an inch to the left. Keep the sacrum pressing into the floor. Back to center, move the leg back, rebend the knee, inhale and release. Oh. Abdominals should be singing. Come up onto your hands and knees. Okay. Come onto your forearms for dolphin, or you can do this in down dog. You can also interlace your fingers in dolphin. Tuck your toes and puff up in between the shoulder blades to prepare. Lift your hips and knees, coming into dolphin. Really get up onto the toes. So we're going to work on this in down dog and the flow, but get away from that like feeling that you need to have the heels on the mat. Get up on the toes and get lift in the belly, lift in the back. Think about pulling the knees towards you instead of sinking the chest towards your thighs. Hold here. Oh, press into the forearms. 2 more breaths. Good. Lower your knees to the floor, and you can take a quick child's pose. Some days dolphin feels light, some days it's like really difficult and you just feel like 1,000 pounds. All right, come to the front of your mats. If you are going to listen to the music, you can hit play.
Powering on.
Let me see here.
Ready to pair. Paired.
Cool. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Plant your hands. Right foot steps back. Lower the right knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Good. Hands to the floor. Step back into plank. Lower your knees and then lower slowly to the floor. Keep the head of the arm bones lifted so they're not dipping down. Pull them back. Pull back for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk the feet in a little bit. Again, get up on the toes. Right foot slides forward, lower the left knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift, pull back in the waist. Hands to the floor, step to the front. Inhale, rise to stand, spine stays long. Exhale, hinge. Plant your hands, left foot steps back, lower the left knee, not the toes. Inhale, arms lift, press into the left toes here. Feel that whole left side engage. Hands to the floor, step back into plank, lower your knees, and then lower slowly to the floor, pull back for cobra. Neck stays neutral. Release, exhale, downward facing dog. Walk the feet in a little bit. Up on the toes, left foot slides forward. Lower the right knee, not the toes. Inhale, arms lift. Pressing into the right toes. Good. Hands to the floor. Step to the front. Inhale. Rise to stand. Going into the first sequence here, grab your right wrist with your left hand, just like we did on the floor earlier, and we'll gap the right wrist, lean to the left. Lifting up and out of the pelvis, so the glutes stay active here. Slowly come back up, switch hands, right hand grabs the left wrist, and then pull. Lean to the right. Should feel that all the way down into the ankle. Lifting up and out. Slowly come back up. And then bring your fingers into your hip creases, right just below the front hip bones. Get your feet hip distance apart. So also try and stay away from this like that the feet have to be together. They don't. Get a nice foundation, feet under the hips, and then we'll hinge. Fingers are in the hip creases to help remind you where to bend. Like sometimes we forget and we bend from the back. Keep the back long and rigid. Hinge a few times. Good. Try and keep the neck neutral. Good. And then last time, hinge and hold. Right hand will come onto the left thigh. Step the right foot back for a tilted crescent here. So you have those left fingers in the left hip crease still. Notice how this left hip is in flexion, not the back, just the hip, spine still long. Hands to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. You can also bring your hands onto blocks if down dog is like, just makes your shoulders scream. Putting your hands on blocks can help. Get up onto the toes here, really up onto the toes. And then pull the knees towards your chest. So you're flexing at the hips, but you're doing that by pulling the knees or the thighs towards you. Good. Press into the mat with your hands. Maybe even grip the mat. Start to feel really light here. And then you can start to bounce a little bit. Shifting forward and back. Good. Yeah, Liz. We're going there in the stream. Good. And then everyone will lower knees to the floor. Good. Left arm reaches up. Oh, no, sorry. Left foot steps back. I'm getting ahead of myself. Left leg lifts, and we'll move it out to the left. So abducting that leg, just like we did in our abdominals. Out to the left, back to center. There we go. Keeping the spine long. Keep lifting the belly. Liz, tuck your ribs more. Like puff up in the back. Yeah, there you go. Good. And then hold the left foot out. We'll open the right arm to the right and then thread it under. Little thread the needle. So right shoulder and head can come to the floor. Enjoy this little opener for the shoulders and the hip. Press back up. Left foot slides outside of the left hand. Open to the right for goddess. Bend your elbows and bring your arms out wide. Palms face the floor and then make fists. And we'll pull back, pulling the shoulder blades together. So this isn't coming from the elbows. I'll show you side view. Coming from the shoulder blades. Really draw them together. Watch that the ribs aren't popping. So if every time you pull back, the ribs pop and you stick your butt out, try to minimize that. Really fight that urge to move other things while you're moving in the shoulders. Good. 2 more. Pull back, turn to the back of the mat, hands plant, lower the left knee, and then come up and we'll swing the arms. One at a time. kind of working out some of that tension in the back. So let the ribs move here. It's not, they're not just moving the arms. Let them really swing by turning in the ribs. Good. Hold the left arm forward. Left hand will come onto the right thigh, right hand into that right hip crease, kind of back where we started with that tilted crescent. Lean forward, tilt forward, press into the right foot, lift the left knee, and then rise to stand on the right leg, left knee lifts up. Good, left foot down. We'll start the other side. Arms lift, grab the right wrist. Grab the left wrist. We're gonna lean to the right first. Good. Back to center, switch hands, grab the right wrist with the left, lean left, and you're not just dumping into that left side, really lifting away, up and away from the pelvis. Inhale, back to center. Bring your fingers into your hip creases. You can heel toe the feet a little wider to get them hip distance and hinge. So spine stays long and neutral. Good. Sit the hips back so the knees can bend as much as you need to. Good. One more time, hinge and hold. Left hand will come onto the right thigh. This time, step the left foot back, coming into this tilted crescent. So lock out this left elbow. You want to really get some support from the arm here. That right glute is working too. Good. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Come up onto the toes. Grip the floor with your hands. Really feel like you can move in the shoulders and then pull the knees towards you. Start to feel a little lighter. Maybe bounce a little bit. Good. Good. Nice. Flexing in the hip. Knees come to the floor for quadruped. Right foot steps back. Spine stays long here. Lift the right foot off the floor and then move it out to the right, back to center. Out to the right, back to center. Reaching the tailbone towards that right heel. Really suctioning the low belly up towards the spine. Out to the right and then step it down. Left arm lifts, open to the left, and then slide it under the right shoulder. Lower the left shoulder and left arm under the right shoulder, lower the left shoulder and your head to the floor. Whew. Good, one more breath here. Come back up, left hand plants, slide the right foot outside of the right hand, open to the left for goddess. Arms out wide and then bend the elbows, palms facing the floor and make fists. We'll pull back. So let me show you from behind. Drawing the shoulder blades together. Like you can imagine you're really pulling something too, like pull it. Don't move the head like I just did. Keep your head neutral. Maybe you can look down with it to watch the ribs aren't popping, but really just moving in the shoulder blades here, getting them warm, really working them, and then we'll work out that tension in a second. One more. Turn to the front of your mat, hands plant, lower the right knee, come up into a low lunge, swing the arms. Let the ribs go. Not moving the pelvis though. Good. Keep the neck neutral here. Right arm will stay forward. Bring it onto the left thigh, left hand into the left hip crease. Lean forward, lean into this. Step into this left foot, lift Rise to stand on the left leg. Good, and then right foot down.